Hi Kiwi. Alrighty, so we're going to pick up Celeste where we left off, and today we're going to go hunting for our cassette. The cassette seems to be hinted at this checkpoint, and if I recall, there was a Kevin, which is what people call the growling blocks for some reason. I think that's the name of the Celeste sound designer, which I think is hilarious. But I remember seeing a path to our left over here that I always wanted to check out, and, well, there we go, I got killed, but guaranteed the cassette is already there, or the cassette is in there, and, let's see what we find, then. Yep, there it is. So in today's episode, I think what I'm going to do is, rather than do moral quandary type hypotheticals, I am going to do hypotheticals centered around our cats for something a little bit more jovial, if you will. So the starting question is, which house would each of our cats belong in Fire Emblem 3 houses? And I think Chroma would definitely be a golden deer, because golden deer just has this found family kind of misguided bunch of misfits all together, and I don't think anyone fits that aesthetic more than Chroma, frankly, in our cat group. Toppy, I would argue, probably is a... Oh, there's something up there, maybe. Let's see. Chroma, I would say, or sorry, Toppy, I would say is a blue lion, because blue lion has the highest ratio of potential muffins, I guess. I think I've been in here. Since I'm here, I may as well check and see if there's anything else in this area. Okay, so I ended up looking up a rough idea of where the crystal heart is, because I can't find it for the life of me. What it turns out is it's connected to this room, and I didn't look further than that. So I'm just going to hunt around this room and see if there's a way to get to it. So I know there's an area up here. There's the area to the right over here. This doesn't look like it connects to anything, though. Oh, it connects to story. Okay. So nothing too exciting there. Trying to get the practice the wave dash a little bit while I'm at it. It's so fun to go fast. Actually, you know what? Let's see if there's anything up and to the left first. No, it doesn't look like I can get very far there. Alright, so up and to the right it is. I think I see something spinning in there. Oh, there's a feather. Let's go straight up. Okay, I can grab onto that. Oh, there's another feather up there. Okay, cool. So if I do this... Oh, come on. Got it. Nice. Okay. Now it's straight up this way. Nothing there, it seems, but there is a spike trap over that way. And then, oh, okay, there's a wall over there. Yep, well, we're just going all the way down. That's fine. Now... One other thing I saw in the speedrun video that I think is kind of cool is there is actually probably a way to climb this wall. It's called neutral sticking, where if you don't grab onto the wall, but rather jump against it, see how I kind of only go... I'm not holding the control stick at all, but see how I kind of bounce a short distance away? Whereas if I hold left against the wall, I bounce even further. So the trick is if you neutral stick, meaning as you jump, you let go of the control stick, and then you press left to go back into the wall. There's a bit of a rhythm to it, but once you get it, just like that, oh, almost just like that, hold on. I can do this, I can salvage this. Hey, look at that. Can I go even higher, though? No, okay. Well, let's see what's over here. That's crazy. This is 100% the crystal heart. Okay. How do we do this? Do you do anything? There is a sound that plays when I dash. Like, listen. The question is, so, I'm trying to interpret what these walls mean. So if I go right, right, left, down, up. Wait a second, hold on. These are color-coded. And it's making a sound when I do my dash. Maybe this is relevant to those birds from before. From chapter, what was it, chapter 1? Alright, I do not for the life of me remember their positions, though. So I think I'm just gonna look that up. So bear with me a second. Okay, so I think... Alright, I looked it up now. So the white bird went up. The purple bird went to the left. The blue bird went down and to the right. The red bird went up and to the right. Purple went left. And yellow went up and diagonal. Okay. Cool. Do I just do it again? I got one light lit. That was wrong, though. Alright, let's try again. So up, left, down and to the right, up and to the right, left, up and to the left. No. Okay, I gave up and looked it up because I just was too dumb to figure this out. So what these little things over here mean is we're reversing the input. So if it was supposed to go to the right, I make it go to the left. If it was supposed to go to the left, I make it to the left. And then this one is reverse all upwards and downwards inputs, and this one is reverse all inputs. So based on that metric, if we start with the second torch here, I want to go up, right. Wait, no, I flipped it already. Up, left. No, wait, no. Purple was to the left. So up, right, down left, right, up right. Yep, there we go. And so if I want to do this one over here, I just have to reverse all inputs. Down, right, up, left, right, down, right. And then this one will be down, left, up, right, down, right, left, down, left. And there we go. And there's our crystal heart. We did it. Cool. All right. So we got our crystal heart. We got our B-side cassette. Time for some fun. Or torture. Probably both. Hi, Kiwi. It's time to play some Celeste again. And my goodness, does it feel like it's been forever since I said that. We are going to attempt the B-side of Chapter 6. I apparently may have tried it a little bit before, but it has been 2 weeks since I've played this game, and so I do not remember much of anything. As you're likely aware, I discovered... Oh, right, I remember now. Okay. I discovered the joys of Doronko Wanko, and I played it obsessively. I feel like this is going to be rough, but I'm more awake than I probably was when I first tried this challenge, so wish me luck. As far as news to talk about, I suppose big things are... Well, I like I mentioned, I've been playing Doronko Wanko, and I am at the point of, I think, holding 3rd place for world records, although there are only 3 submissions, so that's hardly an achievement. But I got my... What was fun about this situation was I routed out the entire speedrun myself, the route that I took. Obviously, it's suboptimal compared to world record holders, but it was really fun to finally, like, not only do a speed run other than like an IL in Sonic Adventure or something of that nature, but also like create my own strategy. It was satisfying to say the It was satisfying to say the least. So I'm really happy about that. It's something new. There's been a lot of new this year, and it's been fun to share that with you on this channel. I don't think I'm gonna take running that game seriously, mostly because I don't think I have it in me, and the issue with Doronko Wanko is there is a lot of RNG to it, or there's a lot of bugs in the game, and it makes the run or at least some parts of the run, fairly inconsistent to me. Namely, the items that the items that are supposed to spawn as you break certain property damage thresholds, they don't seem to consistently spawn at those thresholds. And from what other runners of the game have said, it doesn't matter whether you play on New Game Plus or Continue, which is effectively just the neutral, like the base story mode, if you will. No matter what you do, the game, it seems to be very inconsistent, and we don't really understand why yet. We'll probably figure it out eventually. As it is, the world record holder found a bug that spawns all the things early, which made him have to, like, the money routing for the challenge was far less strict, whereas the new route that I'm trying has very strict money routing, although I see the second place holder also got the glitch, a different glitch, and I have not been so lucky as to have that. So unfortunately, the reason I'm back to Celeste is I wanted to take a break from something super speedrun adjacent, difficult, and clearly Celeste was the best choice, you know, having not played this game for 2 weeks, and there's nothing speedrunny or difficult about Celeste whatsoever. I'm not playing a B-side and have already died like 30 times. No, that's not possible. But I guess that's the big thing on Doronko Wanko. I very much love that game, but I have burnt myself a little thin on it, primarily due to its inconsistency. The biggest issues with running that game for speedrunning in particular is collision is a nightmare to deal with in certain instances. I have gotten caught on the inside of a box so many times, and you think, okay, you can push the box out of the way. No, you are just one with the box, and it loses seconds on a run that only lasts like 3 minutes. So it is exorbitantly frustrating when that happens and you're on pace. And then the strategy I have always ends me at a fan that you need to make a certain money threshold or property damage threshold to reach, and it just doesn't, it decides not to spawn sometimes. And what am I gonna do with that? What can I do with that? Let's see what this is. I really like the music here. Ooh, yeah, this is my jam. Alright, so I need to get to that feather in theory. I bet a speedrunner could probably do like a jump off of the sledge where the spikes start on the right. But I'm not a speedrunner, and I'm not cool enough to pull that off, so let's go ahead and do these. First question to ask and answer is, WTF is Celeste now. Shout out to anyone who remembers Total Biscuit. What a loss to not have him anymore. But, I completely lost my train of thought and started thinking about Total Biscuit instead. Alright, how do we do this? Maybe a launch upwards? I think that's what I need to do, okay. Oh, I forgot about speedrun tech in this game. Hold on. Yeah! There we go. Okay, and then I want to bump this. Oh no, there are fans. Ooh, okay, I see what they're doing with the Kevins here. Not looking forward to that. So I think I have to fly around and collect the sigils and the Kevins at the same time. That's kind of sick. Anyway, I don't even remember what brought me on the topic of Total Biscuit, but why don't we talk about him for a little bit, because he was one of the things we could, what's the phrase? When we met early on, that was one of the common talking points we had. You were surprised that I was aware of Total Biscuit, and I mean, it's hard not to be. He had quite the presence in the internet back in the day, or quite the presence on the internet back in the day. I don't know how I want to phrase this, but man, I loved watching a lot of his work. His StarCraft series I watched a whole bunch of. Okay, we only have to get that once. Good to know. I thought there might be more sigils to collect, but I bet there are going to be more difficult versions of this soon enough. The timing on getting that feather is tough. But I also really loved to watch him stream and cast StarCraft, because he was quite passionate about the game. And while it wasn't a game I actively really played, it was a game that I played a little. I played the story mode, if nothing else. Specifically StarCraft 2. I never touched StarCraft 1, although I've watched StarCraft 1 through 3 in terms of, like, Let's Plays, just so I know the story. Actually, wait, StarCraft 3 doesn't exist. We've been waiting for it for a very long time, and Blizzard refuses to give it to us for some reason. I think is the case. I might be mistaken. Okay, I see what I need to do there. Maybe I can do a dash into that as I fall down. Let's see. So if I come up here, I can dash like that. Oh, yeah, I had it. I just bonked it. StarCraft was my second ever RTS. The only other RTS I ever played, if you don't count Pikmin, because you could count Pikmin, although I would still argue I played these two before Pikmin, would have been Age of Empires. Specifically Age of Empires 2 on my grandfather's computer. I don't know why he had that game, because he was not a gamer by any means, but I'm not going to complain. I quite like that game. My favorite thing in those games is to just build... I favor the Terran playstyle for anyone who's listening in and is familiar with StarCraft. I like turtling, meaning I build up a ton of resources and then make a tidal wave collide with the enemy base and army. So in Age of Empires, I think what I would do is I would just make all cannon units, which were slow but high damage units. And I would just stroll in with my wheelie bomb machines. Darn it, I just keep getting a little too high on that. And just wipe out the entire enemy fortress in a single pass. It was always very fun to do that, even if it was suboptimal, which I don't care about. And when I'm playing that game casually, why would I care about optimization? Okay, I think I see what this is selling. But, yeah, so that was Age of Empires. In StarCraft, I think there were like these... they had tanks, right? StarCraft had tanks, and I would just build an entire army of tanks. I also loved setting up an army of tanks right outside my base, because they would just shoot anything that got in proximity. And of course, these games are always balanced, so there's effectively a check to one strategy, so you have to constantly adapt to your opponent's strategy and then build your own in response. You like adapt to their adaptation, for example, is what I'm trying to get at. But my goodness, I spent so many hours. I also love to play, I think it was sandbox mode, especially on my referring to Age of Empires 2 specifically on my grandfather's computer. I would I think it was effectively sandbox mode. I would just wipe the entire map of resources in the time it took me to play the game. And I was always confused why I suddenly beat the game, because I had upgraded all the things, but like after a certain period of time, the game would just end. And I realize now that there's like a castle mechanic in Age of Empires. So the way it worked was, if you there are different ages, and ages are basically like tiers of. You can think of them as tiers of access to resources, kind of like if we use Stardew Valley as a reference. You have bronze, iron, steel, and so on. So in this, depending on what tier of age you're in, you have access to different, not materials, but what you can produce from the raw materials collected in the world. Stronger units, stronger weapons, better base, better, what's the phrase? Better, oh, we're getting a Kiwi. I got this. Oh, okay, I almost had it. That felt doable. Oh, well, the madness has already set in, hasn't it, Kiwi? Anyway, so there were the different tiers of units, and in Age of Empires, so basically each age had effectively a castle, and when you built the castle at the highest tier in the final age, you would automatically win the game after a certain amount of time had passed, and it took me forever to realize that as a kid. Or I don't even think I realized it as a kid, I just figured it out eventually. Oh my goodness, this room looks like a nightmare to deal with. Well, let's see what we can do. So I bet Kevin breaks this wall. Okay, yeah. So, ooh, this room is going to be extra fancy when pulled off correctly. So we grab this, loop around here, grab the Kevin, bonk the Kevin, grab the Kevin. Try not to get squished by the Kevin. Oh, you have to work really fast here. Wow. Okay, grab the feather. Okay. I see roughly what I need to do here. This is going to take a lot of brain, but I'm going to ramble until I figure out the full strategy. Anyway, so I've gone on a bit of an RTS tangent. I don't really remember what started the tangent, but that's fine, I guess. Okay, so that one doesn't actually need that much. I feel like you would like StarCraft. You would absolutely love Kerrigan, I think is her name. Or the Zerg aesthetic as a whole is probably your jam. But yeah, it was a fun game. I feel like you take a similar strategy to me when it comes to how you use your units, though you definitely strike me as a turtle. No offense. But on the other hand, the Zerg is your aesthetic, and I doubt you would choose otherwise. When it comes to aesthetic versus practicality, I know what you favor. Actually, maybe that's misspeaking. I'd be curious to know who you'd end up choosing, because I think you'd find the Protoss interesting too. Kind of a, how do I do that? I have to be really fast there to get it in time. This room may need more brain than commentary brain can provide. Well, that's awkward. Managed to salvage that. Barely. Come on, let's do this, let's do this. Oh, we did it. Nice. Okay. Ooh, that room took so much brain, but that felt really good to pull off. That room was really satisfying to pull off. Alright, we're getting up to Madeline. Huh. Well, I guess... be careful about how fast I want to go here. So, anyway, I was rambling about RTSs. I also played Age of Empires 3, although I have little memory of it. I just remember seeing it and being like, okay, this looks like something I would enjoy. So I ended up playing that. This feels potentially more doable, but I'm sure it'll only get harder from here. Okay. I need to keep an eye on the Kevins. Gotcha. So, anyway, what can I say? So, I don't really have much to say about Age of Empires 3. I barely remember the game, although I've been thinking about playing it again, honestly. It felt like kind of the thing I was in the mood for. But if I had to say an RTS game that really is my favorite, I mean, I mentioned it before, briefly, Pikmin. Pikmin is definitely a more beginner-friendly, if I would call it that, beginner-friendly RTS, although calling Pikmin friendly, especially Pikmin 1 and 2 friendly, seems a bit disingenuous to those who do not understand. But I love the Pikmin series, hands down one of my favorite series in all of Nintendo's catalog. I'm so glad Pikmin 3 exists, or sorry, Pikmin 4 exists. We waited so long for that game to come out, and when it finally did, it was everything I could have hoped for, although I can't help but be left asking for more because of how much I enjoyed it, you know? But you know what, for what we got was great. They had so much variety in what you could do. I will say the Ice Pikmin were kind of game-breaking in terms of balancing, but wow, this part of the level just gels with me. It's so much easier than that one room. Like, that one room was the difficulty of this level so far. How am I supposed to... Alright, I must have to get down here. I bet there's a feather. Oh, there's a Kevin. Okay. Okay, so he's gonna bump me up. Gotcha. But I think the best part about Pikmin 4, though, was that we got to play it together, honestly. I'm so... Like, the co-op in Pikmin 4 was pretty solid. Nothing too crazy to write home about. I mean, you were mostly just throwing rocks at everyone and then using our consumables, but it was enough that we felt like we could play the game together. I believe other Pikmins have actually made it so you can be a captain, and we do have the other 3 on the Switch in like the package that they sold. So I'm looking forward to sharing that experience with you at some point, Kiwi, because you very much enjoyed playing Pikmin with me, so I want to play more of that together. You know what, maybe I'll ask you to do that today, if you're willing to pry yourself from Fire Emblem Three Houses for a little bit. You have been binging that game. It's basically been our everyday game, aside with a little dose of Stardew Valley. But I've been very much enjoying watching you play the game and learn about the characters. I enjoy your enthusiasm about taking the piss out of Ferdinand and Lorenz, as they deserve. Very much deserve, particularly Lorenz. I enjoy that we've made the existence of Lorenz, Helm, and Gloucester a running gag in our daily discussions. It's quite amusing to me. And Ferdinand is equal parts up his own ass and adorable, means no harm, causes harm muffin. I like that we've just kind of made up a muffin squad for ourselves between Annette, Mercedes, Ash. There's one other I'm blanking. Ignatz is in Team Muffin as well. And Raphael's a bit of a muffin. He's just a muffin made out of meat. Which is funny. Like, I feel like in a previous playthrough, I don't know if it was earlier in Celeste or in Hollow Knight, but I feel like I commented on the Fire Emblem Three Houses characters' writing being a little superficial. I take that back so hard. Like, that was an undeserved slight against a very well-written cast of characters. I think probably part of the issue was I hadn't played the game in a long time and my memory was failing me. I remember there being some pretty substantial beats in the support logs, but honestly, like, now that we've gotten several A-rank supports, I realize how good the game's writing is, and to say anything to the contrary is to give this game to do this game a huge disservice, and it deserves better than that. In terms of favorite characters, I mean, well, I don't know. It's hard to say favorite character. I think, honestly, I might say Yuri. Maybe part of the problem of my initial hot take was that I was basing it on Three Hopes, which I still think Three Hopes had pretty solid character writing. It did treat the characters, for the most part, correctly, although I do have some gripes about maybe how Claude was written in one instance, where he sacrifices Imperial Army soldiers for reasons I forget, but it just didn't sit right with me, because Claude is calculating, he's cunning, but he's usually not to the point of sacrificing others, to my understanding. I mean, I have never played the Golden Deer playthrough. Right now, my first playthrough is Blue Lions, and you're currently going through the Black Eagle route. So, maybe I'm mistaken, and maybe he does have that side to him in the actual game. But if the forum and Reddit posts are anything to believe, it seems like that's not the case. Man, this dialogue today has been all over the place. I've been talking about so many different things. All video game adjacent, I suppose, but we went from what I don't even remember what I led into StarCraft and Age of Empires from, but I definitely wasn't really that related to them at all. I digress. What was I gonna say? I've been enjoying playing Three Houses. I would say, in terms of favorite character, I probably at this point would say Yuri, which was funny because going into the game, I wasn't that big of a fan of Yuri based on how they wrote him in Three Hopes. But I take that back. He has had some of my favorite support conversations. Most recent in memory is his conversation with Dorothea. Like, that one was really sweet. And also his one with Bernadetta. I mean, well, okay, he admitted to being hired to murder her as a child and getting beaten up by her father. So I don't know if sweet is the right way, but the fact that he didn't murder her because he liked her is nice, I guess. I mean, by that logic, that's why you like Hubert, right? The only reason he hasn't killed us is because he likes us or needs us or wants to use us. But I've been enjoying having, like, our shipping conversations. I honestly, after that support log, like, in my original playthrough, I had shipped Ferdinand with Dorothea. I thought it was nice that Ferdinand learned to be less up his own ass by learning from Dorothea what her dealings with nobles have been like. And Ferdinand and Dorothea learns to trust some nobles. Like, not all nobles are corrupt, awful people. Like how her support logs kind of start off with her viewing Ferdinand. And I don't know, but Ferdinand and Bernadetta's recent A-log that we got was really sweet. I was surprised. Like, I had never placed those two near each other in terms of a romance. But now I kind of ship them, especially for Bernie. Like, Bernie definitely showed that she felt certain feelings towards Ferdinand after what he said, and Ferdinand would probably reciprocate. It was interesting that they originally had, like, apparently an arranged marriage, but but Ferdinand heard that Bernadetta, like, created dolls to curse people. Also, 100 points to Bernadetta for liking to make carnivorous plant dolls. Like, I keep joking that you are a combination of Hubert because you love murder. I mean, you're creepy. No, we'll just say you like Hubert. And there are parallels that I could probably draw, but I won't go into detail here about... Oh, hold on. Oh, so close. And then, obviously, Marianne, because sad and like animals. I'm being very superficial with these descriptions, I guess. And then, finally, Bernadetta, because anxiety is your character trait after murder. And we proved that Bernadetta isn't beyond murder. In our playthrough, she's become quite the unit. Her ranged attacks can hit from like 7 spaces away, which is just pretty much the whole map as far as anyone is concerned. And this one's tricky. It's so narrow. And besides that, there's that paralogue where she's just like, maybe I can burn them. And I feel like you were seen there. Horribly anxious person threatening to burn people alive to protect yourself, and then also likes handicrafts and likes to make creepy handicrafts, basically. Like, given the opportunity, I suspect you would make a carnivorous plant of some sort. Alright, I got it. Oh, so close. It was the last one. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward until I get this. Haha! My solution for that was to neutral stick after every drop at the last section, and that made it so I didn't overshoot it. Guess I don't really need to speedrun strat here, but I can. We'll just take it neutral. Anyway, so yeah, you are basically some mixture of Bernadetta, Marianne, and Hubert, I think is what we agreed. I enjoy that you like Hubert so much, because he's generally not a popular character among the, mind you, I'm not surprised at all that you like Hubert. I just know that, like, among the populace, he is not as popular, if that makes sense. Okay, Kiwi, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. We're coming up on time, so I hope you've enjoyed watching what you've seen so far, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and in the next one, we'll go ahead and finish the rest of the Chapter 6 B-side. I love you.